So let's just start this off early, you feel me? 3 minutes in. Special shout out to all the people that, asked questions from me on my IG today. I'm gonna name everybody off. So shout out to Nate Sean, my little sister Taylor, the homie Napaj, my tap man Scooter, you feel me? If you know him, he go by the name of Scooter on IG, on Scooter the Shooter. My little bro Mouse, best friend Ashley, and my best friend Ina. My cousin Vontae, aka Young Smitty. And this nigga Craig. Favorite cousin Vanessa came through. And my homie Tia, she also asked a question. So, I appreciate everybody that, took the time out their day to actually support a Young Nigga podcast and a Young Nigga stream and all that cool shit, because, you feel me, if it ain't for y'all, I wouldn't have nothing else to do, to be honest, so, appreciate you. So, start off with, opinion-based wise, like off the animes that people wanted my opinion on. My broski asked me about Bungo Stray Dogs, right? So Bungo Stray Dogs it's like a gangster anime, you have it's damn near like a mob, but it's not a mob at the same time. So it's a group of people who all have their own type of like entity, right? So their entity has different powers. So one dude's entity is like a tiger, right? So his shit, he at midnight he turns into this white tiger, and he gets the embodiment of a white tiger, has the claws, the power, everything that the white tiger has. And it's this group of people, what they call the stray dogs or whatever, basically are just a bunch of misfits who have really rare powers and rare entities going within them and just protecting each other. So Bungo is really cool because it's one of those hidden animes where it's you won't really know about it, and it's not too overhyped where if you look at it you're gonna be like, oh, I know who this is, or you're not gonna see nobody walking around with a bunch of Bungo Stray Dogs gear on. So it's one of those hidden gem animes, but it's really good, and it's a very, very good watch. You will appreciate it. My boy asked me about Vinland, you feel me? Shout out to my nigga Jamie. He's really deep into the anime game, you feel me? Jamie is Scooter, if I didn't say that or mention that earlier. He is my tat man, he does all my anime tattoos, you need to check him out. He's based out in Columbia, Maryland. You feel me? Yeah, shout out to him, my boy Dylan. Y'all can't hear Dylan right now, but Dylan definitely tagged in and said shout out to Thorfinn. Jamie wanted my opinion on Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is damn near one of the greatest Viking shows I've ever watched. I'm not even going to just put it in an anime box. It's a Viking show. The shit's really gritty to the point. You get hell of a backstory. You get mean ass characters. You get mean ass antagonists, protagonists. You just fall in love with the whole thing. And then for a moment, you feel me, you start to fall in love with the guy that you were supposed to hate, which is Asklad. And honestly and truthfully, I want to say that, besides Thorkel, because I don't know what everybody else's favorite character is, but Thorkel was my favorite character. He was a big ass dude just coming through with a log, throwing it in the middle of a war. Who throws a tree in the middle of a war? Thorkel does, because he has that type of power. So, right, my boy Dylan just tagged and said he threw an axe like Thor. It's just crazy, super crazy. Jamie asked about Asklad though. So Asklad, hands down, is probably one of the best antagonists I've watched in anime in a long time, because it was you couldn't help but respect his grind. The griminess, you feel me, the nitty gritty, what he would do to get to what he needed, you couldn't help but respect it. And for that, I don't know, my favorite antagonist used to be Madara, so if you could think about that, and Asklad took over their spot, you should know this guy's pretty fucking badass. And then I don't want to spoil nothing for anybody who hasn't watched the show and is watching this, for the review, but at the end of the day, man, when I say Asklad hand down is a fucking G, and he is not one of them, he is not going down without a fight, you feel me? Gotta watch the show, man. Just really take that in consideration. We're gonna go to the next subject, which is Clover. Right now, Black Clover is in the top of its game. I don't know, man. Like Clover started off, you know, a little bit slow for some people. For me, it was you know, perfect pace. You know, you got Asa and, you know, the double MC storyline going on, and that's just probably like one of the coolest things that an anime can do now these days, is keep you interested with not just one person but with two people. Now we all know that Asa is the main MC, but you know it's the MC that you really love, and you can't treat him like a side character, you know, or co main character. So I really feel like this current season, you know, if you're not on the current season, then you need to hurry up, because it's going to get nothing but better from here. And from a manga reader to, you know, to the just strictly anime watchers, boy, Heat 2021 equals fuego. That's all I gotta say for Black Clover, man. Like, that's all. For Naruto, you know, this is obviously, my cousin asked me about my opinion on Naruto. I'm a big Naruto fan. I got Shikamaru tatted on my leg. Naruto is a very nostalgia anime for me. I grew up watching it with my best friend Dylan, you feel me, who is on this chat with me right now, just can't hear his audio. So Naruto is probably like one of the like pinnacle animes besides like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece, you know, or Bleach. It's considered as like one of the big three animes. So I say this about Naruto: the fillers is what killed it. You know, like Naruto was a great anime. Naruto could probably be the #1 anime if it didn't have so many fucking fillers, and that's what really like fucking watered it down and made it ass. So Naruto's a great show, but the fillers make it a little bit of ass, and you're just like, oh my god. And take it from somebody who was watching it week to week, them fillers will really blow you, bro. So now these days, if you want to watch Naruto, you have websites that tell you what's filler, what's important, what's not important. But back in the G, it was just like, bro, you had to pick your poison. Like, it's either you watching it this week and you will go through a whole fucking episode of Naruto screaming for Sasuke in the snow, or you feel me, you just go watch it a week when you just know that the you feel me, the Kazekage is out here scrapping. So you feel me, Naruto just, it was a big toss up for me. And then, you know, just to tag it in, just in case anybody mentions it, but Boruto is doing kind of the same thing Naruto did, but I feel like Boruto is gonna, you know, take a better twist for us, and it's gonna like kick us in the face when it comes down to like expectations. You know, I really feel like Boruto is gonna be a really good show coming out soon, and like I said, 2021 is gonna be really good heat for anime, y'all. So, you know, be ready for that. I was sitting here contemplating if I was going to attack these people or not fucking attack them. I'm sitting here trying to figure it out, like what's the best way to go about it. Just do it, you know? Put your Nikes on and just do it. Oh, nope, flatline. Shouldn't have did that shit. Should not have did that. I don't know if anybody peeped that, but that was terrible. Next section, or next opinion on the anime, and this is probably like a personal favorite for mine, and it's surprising that my cousin even asked me this, but long story short, she asked me about JoJo, you feel me? So JoJo Bizarre Adventure is like another sleeper anime, and it's only a sleeper anime because there's so many different variations of JoJo, but it's all the same show. And a lot of people who's not into it, or who has just watched the first season, won't really pick up off of it immediately. But JoJo is one of those animes where it's like you're gonna fall in love with it if you're dedicated to watching the show that you already put time into. So, you know, stick with it if you're already starting it. If you haven't started, please pick it up. Listen, I promise you, I didn't give a fuck about what I look like for a long time. I watched JoJo, I started doing push-ups after every episode. That's how fucking good the show is. Like, you're gonna start feeling like, man, I'm a fucking wimp. Like, you're gonna look at yourself and be like, why am I not this fucking buff? For no reason. For no reason. They had homeless people who had six-packs. And Dylan can agree with me. You're an extra, you're homeless. Why are you in this show with a six-pack? Ripped. Stocky. JoJo Bizarre Adventure. It's really a bizarre adventure, but when I say it's such a great show, man, like you would love the show. Next show is Attack on Titan. Yeah. Let me go back and backtrack. Dylan also tagged in and said that's a generational based anime. Like JoJo doesn't go by the normal anime standards where it's like, oh, it's a 2-year time skip. It really goes by like the 1900s. You feel me? Like, oh, this is the 70s, the 60s, you know, the 80s, the 2000s. So like it's going based off like decades and like time frames and you know generations. So if you're into that type of things and just following along, I'm trying to tell you, man, like it's really good to watch. Attack on Titan, I don't even have to say anything. I could say a lot, but I'm not going to say too much about Attack because we're in the final season right now, and I kind of did cheat a little bit and like, you know, look ahead and seeing a lot of things that's supposed to be happening in this corporate one and shit like that. So I will say this, wait was well worth it. I'll say that. It was a long wait, but soon, a lot of people are gonna be, you know, Attack on Titan fanatics, just like they was a couple years back. So, you know, long story short, look forward to it. Looking really forward into it. I'm one of those people who is just like, you know, I take anime. I'm not gonna say I take anime to heart, but I'm one of those people where it's just like I'm into it a lot. So it's like if I like a character or if I like, you know, a certain vibe in the show and somebody ruins that vibe, then I don't like that person in the show. So, you know, in Attack on Titan, it's basically, you know, revenge time for somebody that ruined our vibe. So it's time to get that vibe back, man. You feel me? And I'm ready to get that vibe back. A homegirl Tia comment and said alum, ALLUM. I never heard of that show before. I don't want to be, you know, that guy and just, you know, like brush you off. So what I will say is this, like, I'm gonna look into it, and by the next video, I'm gonna definitely make sure that, you know, I will have a full description on, you know, my opinion on alum or whatever this might be, because this might be an abbreviation for a whole nother show that I never heard of, but you know, ALLUM. So if anybody do know what that show is or have heard of it before, just, you know, let me know, and I'll be sure to do a review on that.